Hello there. Welcome back to Strange Form. In celebrating Season 3 of The Mandalorian, I am offering up this special edition Hot Toys Mandalorian 1/4 scale review. If you've already seen this review, just think of it like when an 80s sitcom presents a filler episode of clips from previous seasons. In true George Lucas fashion, I've added some extra effects and a new opening narration, as well as an ending that only was ever seen on Instagram. Where last time, I just complained about the Disney sequels, today I'm going to be giving a quick review of the first 2 episodes of The Mandalorian Season 3. In other words, now I'm going to be complaining about The Mandalorian. First off, Episode 1 was a little bit of a letdown between the Chia Pet Muppet and another key item side quest, a side quest that ended up being completely unneeded in Episode 2. The whole thing felt a little like filler material, where plot-driven stories should have been, and this has been a problem with a few shows as of late, The Last of Us being the worst offender right now, following minute, inconsequential side plots while running through the main story at breakneck speed. Many shows are beginning to feel a little like during the writer's strike. The second episode was a little more direct, but unfortunately, Mando spent almost the entire thing having to be saved on his own quest to prove himself. But I have a theory on these first 2 episodes. 1, I get the feeling that there were some hasty rewrites regarding how the season was going to start out, probably due to story arcs that were introduced in the Book of Boba Fett. And 2, I think that the budget is probably being reserved for some huge revelations that will happen later in the season. At least, I hope that's what's happening. Currently, the storytelling does not seem as confident as the previous 2 seasons, and feels a little more like the plot meandering experienced in the Book of Boba Fett and Obi-Wan. If Disney doesn't land this season of The Mandalorian, I fear for the entire Star Wars branding, as the franchise is starting to crumble into mediocrity and cultural irrelevance. Still, you can't judge an entire season by the first 2 episodes. Though these 2 were shaky, redundant, and cliché, they aren't bad enough to keep the season from redeeming itself. But these are just my Cliff's Notes of the subject, and we can all discuss this to a greater degree in the comments section. I look forward to seeing what you all have to say about this new season. Now, I hope you enjoyed this short aside as we wait for the next episode, Top 20 Strangest Alien Big Chap Figures Part 1 and Part 2. And quick film and TV reviews may be something that I do in the future, more to engage the audience than anything else. And now I return you to the rerun, already in progress. Now, what is in fact in the box this time? Not including all of the belts and cartridges that are all over the figure itself. There are a total of 39 items packaged within. In addition to 2 semi-open hands, Mando also comes with a right pistol grip hand, a right fist hand, a left pistol grip hand, a left fist hand, a right knife or pinching hand, the IB-94 blaster pistol, the charge detonator, the vibro knife, Imperial stamped BESKAR, whistling birds, the tracking fob, grappling hook, flame accessory, the Z6 jetpack, a helmet light, the helmet light installation kit, a satchel, the Ambin phase pulse blaster. Baby Grogu is fully articulated and comes with 2 separate heads, 6 ears, and 6 different hands, a PRAM blanket, the Mythosaur skull necklace, Razor Crest knob, a hover PRAM with removable hood. Now that we have all of the parts together, let's build the base. Part of what makes this the deluxe edition, the base sports a shiny BESKAR Mythosaur plaque, a light-up platform, and light-up IG-11 bust, as well as a detachable rusted helmet that can be swapped out with Mando's shiny version. Although this would have made a lot more sense if the rest of his armor were swappable as well. I would definitely purchase an accessory pack that included alternate armor, the BESKAR staff, and a 1/4 Darksaber. The batteries needed are 3 AAAs, which are not included. Once you have your batteries in, it's time to start building the blaster cannon. First, you need to peg the generator into the 2 posts at the left-hand corner of the platform, then clip the small end of the hose accessory into the cannon, and the large side into the generator. Now, to store your cannon, you will need to peg the second ring holder into the upper rear of the platform. All of that done, we are ready to put the last few accessories on. First, the crotch hook stand, which inserts into the hole at the rear center top of the platform. The second clear plastic post is an articulated stand for the hovering pram, which can be placed in one of two post holes on the right side of the platform, based on where you aesthetically want the pram to hover. The IG-11 bust has multiple points of articulation on the head, which allows for you to direct the red lenses any way you want. With the stand complete, let's move on to accessorizing Din Djarin, starting with his helmet light. This time the batteries are included, and you can take the aforementioned included screwdriver and remove the battery door to replace the 3-button batteries. Your mileage may vary, but I had a bit of trouble elevating out the helmet socket, as it appears to have been painted in place. Though once it was out for the first time, it was much easier to swap. Just be careful not to scratch up the helmet while you are trying to remove it. The charge detonator can be placed on a hook just below the 2 cartridges on the left side of the belt. The knife can be slotted into the right boot. The knife can also be placed in the knife pinching finger hand. Why pinching fingers, you ask? Imperial Express never leave the Empire without it. The tracking fob can be easily put anywhere, but the instructions suggest it be placed at the base of the shoulder strap. When not in use, the blaster can be holstered with a safety strap affixed. Remember, Mando now has a kid, and thus has to concern himself with gun safety. The whistling birds can be displayed ready to fire, or empty, though I do wish this larger version came with the actively firing accessory the smaller version does. The grappling hook can be placed on the gauntlet on the underside of the wrist of the right hand. On the outer side of the same gauntlet, the flame effect can be clipped on, which when affixed, meets up almost perfectly with the flamethrower nozzle. The rifle has a surprising amount of playability in that the chamber breaks and you can insert cartridges from all around Mando's person. The rifle is 2 accessories, as the scope can be removed and help spot far-off enemies. It's little things like this that set Hot Toys figures above the competition. The jetpack is magnetic and can be placed on Mando's back by simply aligning it with the center of the back plate, and stays on fairly well. Also magnetic are the 3 thermal detonators, which sport detail on both sides of the accessory. With Din Djarin ready to go, we can now set our sights on little Grogu. Unlike many other Grogu figures, the Hot Toys version has a fully articulated body underneath the robe, including feet, hips, head, hands, elbows, and shoulders, making him easy to display in and out of the pram. He also has 6 pairs of alternate hands, open hand, semi-open hand, and clasping hand on both sides, as well as 6 pairs of ears, up, neutral, and down. The rifle can be slung across Mando's back with 2 magnetic clips, one at the shoulder and the other a small loop on the lower back. Though there are a few small things I would like to see included, I still have to say that this is an amazing piece and well worth the long wait. There is an incredible amount of attention to detail, and the paint applications and costume weathering are spot on. You can really tell that Hot Toys wanted to breathe life into the figures by heavily accessorizing them and making it so easy to pose the duo in their most iconic scenes. This figure marks the only piece of Disney-era Star Wars memorabilia I currently own, and is a welcome return to a galaxy far, far away. A fun mix of spaghetti western and baby cart samurai epic, The Mandalorian has never forgotten its Star Wars roots. Though sometimes referential and nostalgic, it also continues to take us to new worlds and introduce us to new characters and ships, all while exploring the meaning of fatherhood in a most unique way. And had they been smart, this is where Disney would currently be going with their theme park attractions and themed hotel adventures. After all, this is the way. If you enjoyed this unboxing and review video and want to see more content like this, hit the like button and subscribe. Is there any way to have all of your accessories when displaying the 1/4 scale deluxe edition Mandalorian and Grogu? Turns out, yes, there is. Display Grogu in the satchel and put the rest of the accessories in his PRAM with the hood shut. Then display the flame and grappling hook accessories at the front of the base. Now the Hot Toys box is empty and you can feel proud of your life decisions. And though this is an absolute, remember, never stop collecting.